Hello, thank you very much for clicking on this reading. This is my first reading on this channel. First I want to say please excuse any and all noises throughout this video. There's literally construction right next to where I live. Like it's right there. It's so annoying and there's nothing I can do about it. And I can film this video tonight when the construction is over, but I don't want to do that. I want to film it now. And I won't have time tonight, so it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But hi, I wanted to do a quick little intro to me and my channel since this is my first reading on here. I will say, I have like 5 or 6 pre-recorded readings that I'm just gonna be uploading after this, like rapid fire, because I had a channel before this where I started posting ASMR, and then I didn't want to do that because I tried to do ASMR tarot, but it's hard to whisper and do a reading. It's just, for me, it's just too much, especially due to all the noise from where I live. It's like having to cut it out in the middle of a reading, too hard. Anyways, so I switched to doing regular tarot on that channel, and it has not been going very well. The algorithm is very confused. It was like recommending my videos a lot before, and then it was like, what the heck are you doing? We don't know what's going on. And it stopped recommending my videos to anyone. And so the only people watching were the people already subscribed to me, which I only had like 400, 500 subs on that channel, but they were there for ASMR, and it just wasn't going. It's just fun. I needed a clean slate. So that's what this is. And yeah, I'm Kaylee and I like tarot. I guess I don't really have much to say other than that little explanation. I wanted a clean slate, and my hope is to kind of build like a cute, cozy little community. I don't want it to be so impersonal, and I guess that channel, because the people there weren't really there for tarot, it felt kind of like there was a disconnect. And so yeah, I just wanted to start over, and I hope you like this reading. And I hope you like the next 5 readings I'm gonna post. If you want to watch them, it's gonna be, I basically recorded your basic like one is like what you need to know, one is like how they're feeling right now, what you need to let go of. Just like, those are some of the readings that I'm gonna be posting in the next few days. So yeah, I just wanted to start with this simple, cute little reading, and yeah, we're gonna get started. Hi, welcome to this reading. This is gonna be for the next 7 days from when you find this. So this is a timeless reading, and it doesn't have to like be a Monday or a Sunday. This can be any day during the week. It could be Friday, and this will just be the next 7 days until the next Friday. So yeah, I've been watching Charmed Intuition Tarot. Her weekly readings that she does are like, she's been doing them consistently for like the past 5 months, 6 months, and I've seen like every single one. So I just thought 7 days is such a good time frame, and yeah, that's where I got this idea from. So basically what each reading will entail. Sorry, my voice is very tired. I just finished all these readings and they're always longer than I think they're gonna be. But anyways, I pulled some oracle cards in the beginning to get the overall energy of your week, and then I got a tarot card and an oracle card from this deck for every day for the next 7 days. I used the Cats Rule the World Tarot and the Nocturnal Garden Lenormand Oracle deck. So I'm pretty sure that's all I have to say about this. There are 3 piles to choose from. Also, did I mention it's a timeless reading? It's timeless. But anyways, there are 3 items to choose from and 3 cards to choose from For pile 1, we have the Black Cat card, number 35, paired with this Lucky Cat. For pile 2, we have this Arcturus card with the number 24. And it's paired with this this glittery gummy bear keychain. For pile 3, we have the number 3 and a waxing crescent. With this cute squishy bunny or bunny head, yeah. So take as long as you need to pick. You can be drawn to any or all of the piles. There could be messages for you in multiple piles if that's the case, but yeah, we're just gonna get started with pile 1. Hi, pile 1, if you chose the, I believe it was the Black Cat card. So you actually got 2 of the cards from this deck. What is this deck called? the Moon Magic deck, but I can only use 1. The other one was the Sky God card. So basically, we're going to be looking at, let me just show you the rest of the cards real quick. Glove and the Sweet Chestnut Tree, number 39, with growth, and this is number 35, number 26. So we're going to be looking, this is going to kind of encapsulate the energy of the next 7 days, general energy, and then after I kind of get a read on this, we're going to go in with tarot and get a tarot card for every day and an oracle card from the Nocturnal Garden Lenormand deck for each day. So yeah, cool. I know I keep saying this. I really hope there's not a lot of noise because I have a small apartment and there's only so many places I can go. I almost was gonna record in the closet, but I was kind of just paranoid that maybe the candle being in such a small like proximity to, such a close proximity to clothes and so many, I was afraid there was going to be a fire. But anyways, I apologize for any, I don't want noise to ruin this reading, but anyways, I feel like I want to start, the Sky God card talks about masculine energy, and which basically just has to do with taking action. I'm getting that the next 7 days, you're taking action towards something or you're planting seeds, and this could be for like a project or just, there could also be like, because this card right here talks about obviously growth, but it can talk about new romances as well as new projects. And so you could also be like stepping into a new environment this week where maybe you meet someone very significant. This card, I kind of want to read it actually, because it also talks about, it mentions very specific months in it. It mentions the month of June and October, and obviously this is a timeless reading, so those could just be like, it could be a coincidence depending on when you see this, but it could also be kind of representing a certain time span of like a few months, and that could just be the months that they chose to use. This card talks about money, finances, and it can also talk about complacency, but I feel like with the hand, it's kind of like you're reaching out to, maybe you've been in sort of a more stagnant period of your life, and you're kind of like reaching out into I heard like a new beyond. What does that mean? New beyond? I don't know. You're kind of, you're taking the leap. You're taking a leap. You're stepping into a new chapter in your life. And I want to read this because I really do think that like the things that you do this week could be significant and could be planting seeds that even if you don't see immediate success, because often we don't see immediate success from things that we do or immediate results, but if you've also, I just feel like if you've been trying to manifest something, if you've been trying to manifest a new relationship, and maybe you've been at this for a while, or like a new, like success with something, if you've been trying to manifest finances, I feel like that's coming for you. And I don't necessarily feel like it's coming this week, but I feel like that you are planting very important seeds this week that are going to, within like the next month or two. October could be a very significant month because it is mentioned in this book for this card. I feel like you are planting seeds that are going to be growing, like this is saying, growing over the past, over the next few months to the end of this year. So I'm gonna read, it's very, the way things are worded in this book are very like poetic. Well, actually, I also want to read what it says on here. It says, with maternal nurturing, plans and wishes meet with fruition that is as sweet as a nut. Okay. In here it says, 3 sweet gifts of heaven will fall like sweet chestnuts. Life will be bright and social like the tree's glossy, sharp-pointed leaves. The deep spiral furrows in the gray bark symbolize interaction and growth. I'm sorry, I'm reading in a wrong tone. The deep spiral furrows in the gray bark symbolize interaction and growth. A new romance or social activity may happen through 3 friends, just as the female flowers sit in 3s in a little cup. Like the sweet chestnut, life may flower in June and bear fruit in October. So I guess it's specifically, that is the months that are used because I guess this specific tree tends to bloom or bear fruit in October. When the pale green male catkins fertilize the flowers, the cup becomes a spiky shell encasing 3 nuts until fall when they escape. Each nut encapsulates knowledge, predicting a phase of learning for you. And I want to hold that up as well because I didn't do a very good job reading that. So if you want to read it yourself, to this one. But yeah, if you're watching this like around the time that I put it out, like especially if it's before October, or even if it's like the next year and it's before October could just be a very special month for you. But I also think that like if you're not watching this when I upload it, the next like 2 months I feel like are going to be very quick for you. And I find it very interesting that this black cat card talks about self-love and independence, and this card talks about, you know, social activities. I think that the work that you've been putting in towards yourself and the self-love that I feel like you've maybe been in a very feminine energy, which is basically just, you know, an introspective, more watery kind of receiving sort of energy. You've been in a phase of healing, and I really do think this is you kind of finally, this kind of like makes me, I know it's a glove, not necessarily a hand, but I kind of get the visual of you like, if you were in an egg, this is you like sticking your hand out and you're being like hatched. But also it kind of made me think of like putting your working gloves on, getting to work. So you could actually, maybe you're into gardening. That just made me think of that. That could just be a random confirmation. But yeah, I do see, with this card talking about complacency, I will, before I say anything about that, I want to say that I do feel a very like light, giddy energy with this reading. It feels light, it feels good, it feels a little scared, and I feel like that's maybe where the complacency is coming from, is like you maybe have some self-doubts or some fears that maybe make you want to stay in and stay complacent with just what you've currently got going on, and maybe stay in the safe bubble that you've created for yourself, because I feel like your energy has overall been very like, it's been good. You've created a good foundation for yourself, and I think you're still in the process of that. And honestly, I think it's okay to not, like, you shouldn't feel forced to go for anything right away, or to like force something. Slowing down is good. It always is. It's just good for your nervous system. And if something is meant for you, it's not going to go anywhere, even if it takes more time to get to something. If it's meant for you, you're not going to miss it. So don't be afraid of like missing out because you're not ready yet. Yeah. But I do see you putting it, like planting seeds. That's coming through really strongly, especially because this growth talks about future growth rather than, like, obviously you've grown a lot presently, but it talks a lot about future growth, and so that's what I'm getting. And yeah, we're gonna get into the daily tarot now. I'm gonna put this over here. I'm trying to be more quick with my readings. I know that people just say things, but on my other channel where I posted a reading, which I will be posting this reading on this channel as well, but it was how they currently feel about your reading. And I did an energy check, and I guess I just talked for too long, and the person was like, they were like, I wish you would just get to the point and just tell me how they feel. I already know how I feel. You don't have to tell me whatever, right? They just wanted me to get to the point, and so I'm a little bit like, oh God, okay, so I have to start. But also, these are my readings, so I can do it however I want to do it. Yeah, just complaining, just me complaining a little, or not even complaining, just that's been on my mind lately. And I know that this is a completely new channel, so it's just like nobody even knows what I'm talking about. But that was a comment on a previous channel, and it's just so sad. But anyways, I also do think that sometimes I kind of understand, because I know that sometimes readings can be a little bit redundant and you just want to hear the messages. Sometimes longer readings are not always better, but sometimes they are, and they give you good confirmation, so it really just depends. Anyways, I'm going to shuffle. I'm gonna shuffle the cards for each day. So if you want to skip the shuffling part, you can do that, because I'm just gonna be shuffling. So obviously this is like the next 7 days from when you're watching it, so it doesn't have to start on like a Sunday or Monday, but we're just gonna do like yeah, I think actually, hold on. Yeah, we're doing not today, but the next day. This will start whatever day is tomorrow, and then it'll go from there. So what is tomorrow looking like for pile 1? Yeah, tomorrow may not be the quickest of days, but that's okay, because really you can't expect to start something immediately. Okay, we have the King of Swords. Oh, okay, but you're thinking. You're definitely thinking. King of Swords. I want to get one of these cards. key. 333 could be a significant number. Okay, and then what about the next day? This is a lot of shuffling. I may actually cut this out. I'm not too sure yet. I'll keep it in, just if anyone likes to like see the shuffling process. 5 of Swords for the next day. Okay. Yeah, totally feel free to skip. And number 14 with Fox. Okay, we have the 7 of Swords. Lots of swords energy. Lots of thinking. You're definitely thinking. Oh, you're definitely in a in your head, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like you're using a lot of mental energy, but I actually think that this is very good. Okay, we have the, oh, that with this card is good. Number 10 with Scythe. Okay, next day have the Wheel of Fortune. Very nice. Okay, we got 2. We have number 26 with Book and 36 with Cross. Significant day. Okay, we have, oh, Judgment. Yeah, so definitely towards the end of the next 7 days is when things are going to be kind of picking up, showing themselves in reality. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 2 more. Oh wait, I have to get one of these. I'm hoping these all fit in the frame. Gosh, didn't think about that, did I? Okay, we have another 2 with Heart, number 24, and Child, number 13. I was hearing inner child healing when I saw that. So, oh my god. Okay, we have the Sun. Definitely lots. Let me make sure that this is staying in frame. Okay, it is, but I may have to kind of move some things. Anyways. Okay, and we have Bouquet, number 9. Okay. Then last card, we have the Queen of Cups. Nice. Okay, very good energy. One thing that I'm getting, let me pull this card first, but there is an energy, just another general energy that I'm getting. Number 27 with Letter. So yeah, one thing that I am getting is I think that you're making big moves. Like, this could be something that, whether it's a relationship or a project, specifically if it is a project, you may have not felt deserving of this thing, whatever it is, of starting it or of succeeding in it. And I think that you've done a lot of work on yourself to build that confidence and to build that self-assuredness. And this week, like, I think you're working on that more, and especially in the first half of the week. And with the 7 of Swords, we're gonna get into it, but I think that you're overcoming illusions. And And then yeah, the thing is, what's so fun is once you overcome those illusions, see how the energy shifted so much in these cards from this Swords energy, this mental energy, to this really powerful energy, to the Queen of Cups. Like, once you get over, this could be a very significant day for you. I think I just heard a honk as well, so that could be confirmation. I also feel like when it comes to these readings, it doesn't even have to be this specific day. It could be the day before. You could speed up the energy or prolong it, but I feel like regardless, this specific day for you, what is it, 1 to 3 days from now, is going to be very significant, and there's going to be like something that you uncover about yourself, something that you like, yeah, in the healing that you've done and the mental work that you've done. And I'm also noticing, I know that this see, why can't I talk? I can't talk in this one. There's a lot of, I think that honestly that represents the energy that you might be in now and what's showing in the next 3 days. You might be in a bit of a scrambled, like your head is just filled with, but it's not even like, it's not a bad thing. I think that the reason is because there are subconscious like wounds and beliefs that you've held on to that are coming to the surface kind of all at once and jumbling your brain up a little bit. It's like brain soup. And I really just think that you are like, you're working through this somehow. I don't know if you have a therapist or go to therapy and maybe you have a therapy appointment on that day, or the day before, or just something happened. This seems very mature. Like if you don't have a therapist, this is giving the energy of like working through something professionally, like just you're handling it well. It's like you have the tools, like you know how to transmute the energies that you're dealing with. You know that maybe you have better coping mechanisms now, and just like, yeah, I'm getting the energy of someone who's like been to therapy, has coping mechanisms, and it doesn't have to be that like clear cut, but it just seems like you have the strength and the actual like tools, like logical, or I don't know if logical is the right word, but you have the actual, rather than just hoping something gets better over time and hoping it goes away, because obviously manifesting is real, and you can just technically manifest away problems, but whatever, this isn't like, you also have to like put in work, and I just feel like you have the actual practical like tools that you need to get over your mental blocks. And maybe these have been blocks that have really affected you before, and yeah, like really, like they were kind of hard to get over, and they kind of stumped you or kept you stagnant, or they kind of, it made, whenever these blocks would come up before, it made it feel like you would take it made it feel, I don't like saying like 1 step forward, 2 steps back, but it made you feel like you were taking steps back. I don't really believe in taking steps backwards, but it can feel like you're taking steps backwards. Like, I really do think that the problems that may have really kept you stuck before, you know how to deal with them, and you're really like, it's been something that you've been working on, and I really do think you're having a breakthrough this week. Okay, so really looking at all the cards and their meanings, this actually might be a very significant time for you. I think I was saying that earlier, but you know, I didn't want to like promise anything, but it does look like this is actually, no, this is obviously, I mean, with 3 major arcanas, this is a significant time for you. This key card talks about new beginnings. I feel like what's interesting, okay, I feel like the next day, tomorrow, could be you could be feeling very good, and just in general, getting lots of clarity and feeling like the work that you've put in, the healing work that you've put in, has really like, it's just gotten you to such a good place, and you're just ready to tackle new projects and new beginnings. And then it seems like the next 2 days are kind of like a test of resilience is coming up. And I feel like this happens whenever we have learned something, whenever we have healed from something. It's almost like the universe tests us to test our resilience and see how well we've actually healed from it. And it seems like the universe is wasting no time, and it's kind of happening immediately. With the Five of Swords, there may be conflict with someone maybe from your past or from your family even, or friends, just anyone who's caused with inner child. Oh, sorry, there was ambulance outside. But anyways, with inner child healing coming up over here, I have a feeling that's kind of, it could be anything, but I get the feeling that there could be someone like from your family or someone who had an effect on wounds from your past, from your childhood, that you may have conflict with. And if it's not direct conflict, there may just be wounds that are brought up again, where you feel like you have to defend yourself. But this Fox card talks about like self-care, and I think that ultimately, I think that's what you're going to choose. And I also think that obviously if you're seeing this could be sort of a warning, sort of like, remember that when you're dealing with this, when you're dealing with wounds from the past that come up, especially with things that you've already been healing for so long, it's okay to take time. You're not selfish for, okay, loud cars. Anyways, you're not selfish for going inwards and taking time for yourself, and you're not selfish for taking a step back or for doing what needs to be done to make sure that you're okay. Like, this could even be inner conflict, but I think that something that is changing for you is something in the past. Maybe you have been the kind of person to beat yourself up or put other people's needs before your own, or carry the burdens of guilt that weren't yours to carry. And I think that this is kind of a test to, and it can be really hard, especially when you're used to feeling guilty for choosing yourself and for choosing your own peace. But I feel like that this day might be a bit of a challenging day, but I think that you're choosing yourself. Again, God, there's so many noises happening outside. I don't know if you can hear them, but anyways, I think that you are choosing yourself, even if it's difficult. And I think that that is the path that you've been on and what you've been learning to do. And ultimately that is going to be what helps you in the future and what helps you continue to grow and get over, or not get over, but let go of these wounds that have previously maybe held you back. This card talks about warnings and danger, but I want to read it again because it's not like scary. It's more so, I want to read exactly what it says. Hold on. I have to find it. Number 10, 8, 9, okay. It says, danger lies ahead. The scythe is a warning that it is time to sever harmful ties. That's what it is. A reckoning is about to take place, and it is best to move forward and learn from mistakes. So with this coming out with the Seven of Swords, you could be dealing with the same person 2 days in a row, but I also think that if it feels right, this could even be like a past relationship, or maybe on this day you're having to cut ties with a past relationship, and it could be one that's been over, but you still feel energetically pulled into their energy, and it's negatively affecting you, or maybe they're even negatively, like they're actually physically trying to come back into your life and you don't want that. Or this could also be friendships that no longer serve you, that have been, especially if the conflict here is with friendships or even with family, like for a while you've needed to cut that energy out of your life. And cutting people out, I know, can be very harsh, You don't have to, it's literally up to you, but however this works for you, it could be just cutting out, not communicating as much as you normally would. It could honestly even just be being more honest with them about how you truly feel. And sometimes, especially because the Seven of Swords is about dishonesty and deceit, sometimes when you just start becoming more honest with certain people, they will actually be the ones to leave and they will fall out of your life. And if that happens, if that's the case, then they were never meant to be, or not that they were never meant to be in your life, but they are not meant to continue down this path with you, at least not in the same way that they were before, because anyone who sees your truth as a threat is not someone who deserves to be in your life. And so I think this is essentially just a warning of one kind of like the fact that it may be kind of difficult in the next 2 days, maybe even the next few, like moving forward. But I feel like towards the end, you've got some good ass energy coming in, and obviously loss hurts. I honestly though, I'm getting the feeling that if you're losing anyone or anything, it's something that's you've been expecting. It's something that's kind of like when people, I'm not saying that this is a breakup, but just for an example, when people break up but they've just known for a while, and so by the time they actually break up, it doesn't even hurt anymore. It doesn't hurt as much as it would because it's not unexpected. They saw it coming. And that's kind of what this feels like. You've had to sever these ties, whether it be energetic or like real, like you're actually dealing with these people. But I do think that regardless, I think you're being more honest with people who maybe have just expected you to play a certain role, and you're like, I'm not doing that anymore. And they feel threatened by that because they like you when you're small. And people like that, again, don't deserve to be in your life. So this is coming as a warning, and also just like confirmation that the longer that you people please for these people who don't deserve your energy, or aren't your true authentic self, just to keep the peace, that's actually, it may seem like it's keeping the peace, and it may be keeping the peace, but it's hurting your soul, it's hurting you on the inside, and your soul will feel so much more free, like this sun. You'll feel lighter once you let go of that energy, and obviously it's hard to just not feel guilty, I know, but like over time, it'll get easier to not feel guilty for just being yourself. So yeah. And then so we've got the next day. What did this talk about? This cross card talks about when something that you've been holding is too much to bear. And then this book card talks about learning, because who would have guessed the book card talks about learning? But it also talks about like seeing things, like kind of gaining information, seeing situations. Sorry, I want to check my phone is still recording. Anyways, seeing situations in a way that you haven't seen them before. Gaining a new perspective. With the Wheel of Fortune card, this shows me that this is kind of a turning point, but also the whole week kind of is. But this is like showing me a guarantee that things are going to change. Karmic cycles are being released. And I just think it's very telling how these cards feel like the karmic cycles, and then these cards feel like your new beginning. And I like how kind of symmetrical it is. That's very cool. This week for you is pretty significant. And, like that growth card was saying, I think that the changes that are being made now are planting seeds for success in the future. Because, it looks like this week regardless of what you're doing, there could be things that you're also working on, but I'm not really seeing any like wands energy. But I see that you are dealing with like these emotional burdens behind the scenes that have been, and these conflicts, and in doing that you're gaining motivation, and you're gaining like I don't know, I just really feel like, especially during the middle of this week, and I mean even in the beginning, because in the beginning of the week it does show that you're feeling that confidence, you're feeling like you're ready to start something new, you're ready to step into a new adventure and completely just change your life. Well, I don't want to be dramatic, but it could be very life-changing. And yeah, you're just ready for your life to change. You're ready to take steps towards your happiness even more. And yes, you are being challenged this week, but it's for good. It's to build that resilience so that you can continue on your path. And ultimately, I think what you're doing this week, what is happening this week, is you're learning more about choosing yourself and choosing the best path for you. And yeah, I think on this day, you're learning, you're gaining more perspective after what has happened. And you could also be getting ideas on this day. So the next day we have Child and Heart, which obviously inner child healing, I thought about that, but this card also talks about new beginnings, and in a more like, because this talks about new beginnings though in like a more like childlike way, like childlike fun. You could be having fun on this day. This could be a day where either you're just going out. I kind of see someone who's just going out and they're having fun and they're okay with doing things alone, and they're like, you know what, like I don't need people if those people are gonna hold me down. But you could also have like specific people that you do feel close to, that you could, either way, I see you having fun on this day. And these two cats are kind of, I see multiple things. I see this kind of like as you, this big cat, and these could be like your spirit guides, like watching you level up. But also it feels like people that have fallen away, kind of like, there could be people, maybe if you like post on social media, there's people watching you, stalking you, not to feed anyone's delusions. just kidding. That could actually be the case though, if you are on social media and there's people kind of seeing you having fun, and just feeling spiteful. That's just what I'm seeing, because that might make you happy to hear. And that's I mean, yeah, go off, you know. But regardless, that might not make you happy to hear. That might, because you might be at this point be like, I just wish they would leave me the fuck alone and move on with their lives, like you're just not even bothered. But regardless, I do see like you as this cat. This Judgment card, I believe this is, no, the World is the last card, but I think that this is very close to the World. This might be like, let me see if that's 20. Regardless, it's a good card. It's a card about change. But yeah, this also makes me think about, because this card is, it can be about making final decisions. You've closed a chapter, and that's very beautiful. It can also talk about forgiveness, and I believe this Heart card also talks about forgiveness. So yeah, I feel like you are in a pretty good energy of like, whether or not, you don't have to like, you know, be out here texting people, I forgive you and this and that, like, unless you want to, unless you feel called to do that. But you're not like a bad person if you can forgive someone in silence. And you can also have your own way of just like, this could be forgiving yourself, but you could also have your own way of just getting past things. Like, because forgiveness, while it's good, can be overrated. And obviously holding resentment in your heart can be very taxing for you as a like for anyone. For holding resentment is not something, it's not just about the other person, but holding resentment can hold you down. It can weigh you down, like kind of like this cross. It could be a lot to hold. But it's also okay to acknowledge your feelings. But I feel like you've done that, and I feel like you're moving on and you're having forgiveness for your own sake. Because this is also about self-trust, self-belief, and this is just a really good energy. And then leading into the next day, I forgot what this bouquet card is about actually. Let me just, okay, yeah, it literally says rewards, pleasure, flattery. An expression of appreciation can be a great reward for hard work. Enjoy the pleasure of such an occasion, but watch for flattery as an ulterior motive. So yeah, I just think on this day, again, you're just in a good energy. I feel like you may be resting this day. I feel like this day is a day of fun for you. You're just kind of like in a good energy of like realizing that you have freedom. But you're also in that energy on this day, but you don't feel forced to do anything. You feel free. You feel like, yeah, this is a really good energy. I know that this can seem like a lot, especially for just 7 days. Because not everything, not every 7 days is super significant, but this just feels significant. I feel like you'll know this is your pile which I'm kind of saying this kind of, you probably would already know by now, but yeah, you'll know that this is your pile if you've just been going through this healing journey and this expansive journey, and it feels like this week you are feeling more free, you're feeling better. And I feel like you've had weeks like this where you've hit breakthroughs of your healing on your healing journey. But I feel like this week in particular, it feels like you're actually like cutting these old ties to old habits, people, and things that were holding you back. And that feels really, really beautiful. And so I just think that this is going to be a day where you're in that energy and you're feeling really good. And this may also be the day where you actually go and maybe you end up in like you go into a new environment that ends up being like a place that I'm getting like you could go to a place. It could be for like a club or for like I don't think it's a new job. It could be a new job, but I feel like, honestly, you're career-wise, you might be taking a more unconventional route. So it doesn't have to be like a new job per se, but it could just be you're stepping into a new environment that it's going to become a regular environment in your life. And so yeah, this could be anything from like you're signing up for this class or a club where like I don't know, like a book club or martial arts or just, a place. I feel like you're finding community and you're finding a place that feels like home, and you're finding a place like, obviously you have your home, but you're finding a place that feels also kind of like a second home, or like you're finding a place, and you may not even know that it's going to become a regular place for you. It could even be like a cafe that you go to every day. And it may not even be a physical place. Maybe if you're like online but you're finding a community, you're finding a constant, you're finding something that consistently makes you feel like you've found, your soul people. And I think it's just going to be really good for you, for your growth, and it's going to inspire you. So yeah. And then the next day, the 7th day, we have, I forgot what letter meant as well. I have to look it up. Yeah, message, communications, news. An important message is on the way. Keep an eye out for nonverbal communication. The news may lead to unexpected changes in the near future. So, there I go again. Anyways, the Queen of Cups being an intuitive card and this talking about nonverbal communication, you could be getting lots of messages from your guides this day, however they communicate with you, whether that's in numbers or whatever. You may just be getting intuitive hits. And I feel like it's because this is kind of just like sparking, all of this is leading, like this, you know, new venture that you're stepping into could be sparking ideas into your head that like inspire you. I feel like by the end of this week, you're feeling very inspired and you're starting something new. And you could also be receiving messages. You could be receiving literal messages from someone that you met, whether it was on this day or like just maybe you met someone even like, I don't know, last month and y'all exchanged info. And this could be like, this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship if that's not what you want, but it could be, or it could be like a friendship, it could be a business. But someone could be reaching out and offering you something. I'm actually, yeah, for a good few of you, I'm getting that it could be like a business deal. So check your email, specifically your email. And it could be something that's, yeah, that was unexpected, but that you literally manifested by being in this energy. Because I do think that there's some things that, yeah, you have to like put practical work into, but ultimately, if you're in a certain energy, you will manifest things on a frequency, like on an energetic level that is like basically magical. And I think that's kind of what's happening here. You're manifesting a invitation, whether that be literal or like metaphorical. Like you invite yourself because you're finally, you know, giving yourself permission to dream big. I see you in a really good energy where you're having ideas, but you're also very calm about them. You're not like trying too hard to, because what's interesting, I do want to say, when the moon card that came out, the sky god card, that does talk about masculine energy, but it talks about masculine energy being on your side. So I feel like you could have some like masculine spirit guides or like angels helping you right now. I almost feel like you don't even have to take a ton of action. I feel like the action you take feels very like it's coming from a feminine place of receiving. Like it feels like it's coming from a place of just intuitive knowing, and you don't feel forced to take that action. It's coming from a place of balance where you're in your feminine and you're not worried too much about taking action towards something immediately. And then you're just like, oh, I feel like doing this. And then that's where it's like a healthy masculine energy where you're like, okay, I'm going to take action towards that. But it doesn't feel like intense or like you're forcing yourself to do anything or take action or putting pressure on yourself to have anything done by a certain time. It just feels like you're in a pretty good receiving energy on this day, but you're also taking inspired action. So very good. I am very excited for you. This is really nice. I want to end this reading with some healing angel cards for its loving guidance from the angels. I used to use this deck so much and I've been really enjoying using it lately. There's 2 other readings that I'm going to be posting that I've already recorded that I use these cards on. They're just so good. They're so simple but powerful. But yes, this was a really beautiful reading. I just checked the time. I swear to God, I try to do short readings. It doesn't happen, but I honestly feel like I gave a lot of info and I didn't just talk to talk. I'm hoping. I just have a lot to say. I don't know, man. Okay. I'm gonna get you like, oh my god. My cat just like jumped from somewhere and shook the whole apartment. Anyways, I'm gonna get you 3 angel cards. I feel like the AC might be louder where I'm currently sitting. Okay. We have heart and soul. When making your decision, take into account what your heart and soul are saying. Sometimes the mind can deceive us. Choose through love, not fear. Which, yeah, I feel like that's literally what you're coming out of, like a mental block. Because by the end, you're literally in your heart space. And we have the heart card. You're unintentionally, I mean, maybe it's intentional, but it feels like you're not even, you're not even trying. You're unintentionally healing your heart. It's like you know you're healing, but I don't know if you realize like you're healing your heart chakra, like it's opening. And that's pretty cool. So okay, we got 2. We got miracle and change. Okay, good cards to come out together. I'll get one more since these came out together. It says, our wings of light surround you and those you love. This current situation is governed by a higher power. The forces of love are at work. All will turn out well. And this card says, life is a journey. It would be very unfulfilling. I have to burp. Okay, I'm sorry. It would be very unfulfilling if each step was exactly the same as the last. Because life is always changing, it is forever fresh and new. Allow your life to unfold gracefully. Be grateful for what was, is, and forever will be. Nice. So, yeah, there is beautiful change coming in your life. And, you know, even past these 7 days, but I do think these 7 days are going to be important for your growth. And yeah, it's just part of the journey. It's part of the journey. And yeah, it's just beautiful. Beautiful to see. Okay, and then we have divine intervention, which is interesting just because this said, yeah, this is governed by a higher power. You may feel frustrated because something stalls or comes to a standstill. Progress seems painfully slow, yet this is a blessing. It is divine intervention at work. When the timing is in perfect harmony, all will come to fruition. So, yeah, and I really do think things may have seemed slow, and even after this, they may seem slow, but ultimately I think that you trust, and I think that you're trusting the divine, and yeah, this is so beautiful. I'm really, really, really happy for you. This is so nice. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Do consider leaving a like and maybe comment suggestions for readings that you want to see. Again, I will be uploading like 5 other readings that I've already recorded. I'm probably gonna upload them like either on the same day, or I'm gonna upload as much as I can week by or day by day. And yeah, oh, I also have to film a September reading because September is coming up, so that'll be nice. Anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day or night or afternoon. So yeah, bye. Okay, hello pile 2. If you chose the Arcturus card, number 24, then welcome to your reading. So I'm just gonna get, obviously this is one of the cards that we're using to get your general energy for the week or next 7 days, which is a week, but obviously this doesn't have to start at the beginning of a week. But yeah, these cards are gonna represent, whoa. I don't know if you heard that dog, although it's pretty hard not to. Anyways, the energy for the next 7 days. We have 51 with the tulip tree, adaptability, and it says the transforming power of time brings flowers and fruits that are a sign of love and happiness. And then we have Sylvia Plath with the dark. So I'll put that right there. I feel like there's a lot of kind of different energies for this week. Or it's not that different. It's just that the cards, while they do tell me more about your week, they don't directly relate to each other. Well, these kind of do. Basically, you might be in a bit of a rough time right now, or maybe the next 7 days just might be a little difficult, might be a little bit rough to get through. But this card literally talks about having a good support system. And this card talks about good things coming, because it talks, I actually want to read it. I've been reading, or like at least for the last group, I read the message in the book for the tree card, because I just like how they're put in this deck. So I'm probably going to read it for the last group as well. But let's just read that really quickly. The tulip tree predicts that in time a difficulty will pass. As the canoe carved from the trunk of this tree can hold 20 people, sociability is indicated. Good company will ease a dilemma. So yeah, I feel like that's also directly related to this card. It makes me think you have a good support system, but it also makes me think that if you don't feel like you do, you have, like, I know it's kind of like whenever we don't have a good support system on Earth, it can be kind of maybe annoying to hear this, especially if you don't fully believe in this kind of thing, but you have angels and spirit guides on your side at all times. And maybe you actually, maybe it's the opposite for you. Maybe you are a very spiritual person and you can feel that very strongly, but maybe you think that you're crazy. And so I just want to confirm to you that you're not crazy, that you do have helpful spirits, not just helpful spirits, but it just your spiritual team particularly on your side. So yeah, I just want to read the rest of this. You will stand out from the crowd just like this great forest splendor whose branches are adorned with yellow-green, tulip-shaped flowers that turn butter yellow in fall. You will taste a part of life that you have never before cherished, signified by the tree's odd leaves. Oh, my voice is getting tired already. Sorry. Anyways, which look as if their tips have been bitten off. Like the tulip tree, adaptability is your forte and spice of life. Travel, communication, and mingling with all sorts of people are forecast to bring change for you. So, I want to hold that up. It's this one right here. I do want to apologize for any vocal fry. I need to drink more water when I do these readings. Okay, got some water. Anyways, this is pretty to the point. Whenever I saw the dark, I thought of Dark Night of the Soul, which is a very intense sort of dark period to go through. I'm not sure yet if that is exactly what you're going through, but it could be. But I think that right now, I do think that you have a lot of support on your side, and I don't know, you may not feel very supported. I do think that there is a time coming for you soon where you're going to have more fun in life, and life is going to be more fun. Maybe things have just been kind of dark lately, or just kind of disappointing, kind of hard. Maybe there's things that you've been trying to get off the ground or trying to do, and you just haven't really felt very lucky, like luck is on your side. But I do think that this is part of the process of figuring things out and figuring out what works for you, and also life kind of trying to show you or yeah, life just showing you that, kind of testing your resilience a little bit, but also, I'm trying to think of how to word this. Like, there may just be things that you've been trying to make work that aren't working or haven't seemed to be working. And I honestly think that life is trying to show you you don't have to push it so much or try so hard. Or like, if you're feeling distracted, it's okay to take a break. If you're feeling burnt out, it's okay to take a break. Maybe not that you don't, trying hard is a good thing. But, pushing yourself and shaming yourself, I think that's kind of where your spirit guides want you to know that putting shame on yourself for not being able to complete everything at once, because it's not the things that you want, it's not that your dreams or like your manifestations, the things that you want to call in, it's not that they are impossible, or that it's just, like everyone always says, it starts from within. And shaming yourself, it's kind of like this cycle that a lot of people get stuck in. So I'm just getting a lot about advice right now, which again makes me think that your spirit guides are very, like, they probably really needed you to see this, not just to know what the next 7 days will entail, but also just to get some advice to you, which is that obviously we don't have to have the perfect mental state or the perfect emotional state, but you can't shame your way into getting what you want. So working really hard, which I feel like a lot of people fall into this trap, working really hard, but then beating yourself up when there's not like the progress that you see, or just kind of, it really is the way that you look at it, because something may take a really long time for someone, but it doesn't feel like that for them because they didn't shame themselves, or I know I'm using that word a lot, but sorry that there's like construction beeping in the back, but anyways, which again, I don't want this to be shaming you, but that's not what this is supposed to be doing. But let's say someone takes a year to reach their goal, but they don't feel, God, that beeping is just pissing me off, sorry. But it doesn't feel like it took that long for them, because even though obviously it's okay to get frustrated, they trusted in divine timing rather than feeling like it was their fault, shaming themselves, thinking, what am I doing wrong? And obviously there are ways that, you can change your approach to things, but it doesn't come from shaming yourself or getting mad or upset with yourself for thinking that you're the one messing all this stuff up. Anyways, that's the message that's coming through. But I want to get into your next 7 days, because I want to see what's going to come out, and I feel like we're going to get more info. But I just think that there was some advice that wanted to come through, and yeah, I think that you're working on something. And also, I do want to say that there could be something, regardless of how long it takes, there could be something that takes a long time, or something that happens overnight for someone, but ultimately it feels the same. How you feel is what matters above all else. And I feel like the time you're going through right now could be showing you that. If you're going through a dark night of the soul, it could be showing you how much shame, and it's not even necessarily your fault. I feel like we're kind of taught to be shameful, but it does teach us a lot, those feelings of shame. It teaches us resilience, and it kind of shows us that you can't really get where you're needing to go without supporting yourself. But I also do think, yeah, like it's saying, I see that you have a lot of support around you. Let me just close the door real quick to see if it'll, there will be less noise coming in. Okay. So I am going to get the tarot card for each day as well as an oracle card. So feel free to skip the shuffling. Because I am just going to shuffle them all at once and then get into it. So for the next day, what's happening for you tomorrow? So yeah, this is going to start the day after you watch this. Okay, we have the Two of Swords. And the Ring. I'm already having thoughts, but I don't want to say what they are until all of the Queen of Swords. Interesting. So far, there has been, at least in the beginning of the week, lots of mental energy. Oh, okay, we have number 6 with clouds. Oh, okay, and then for the next day we have the Sun. Oh, and we got 2 cards. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen this card. Oh, look at that. We also got the Sun card from this deck. It also came out reversed, which is interesting. I'm not taking reversals, but that's interesting. They both came out reversed. 31 with the Sun and 15 with the Bear. I just started the Bear, like the show. I want to say you have a very strong energy. Like, I feel like you already are a very resilient, strong person who's been through a lot. Oh God. Okay. For the next day, we have the 9 of Wands. Oh, this poor kitty. Oh, he's got, his fur is, something happened. Anyways. And we have the Tree with number 5, which I'll get into it. That's also making me think of like the fact that maybe this could be a day where this energy really comes into play. Yeah. And the 7 of Pentacles. Okay. I have to move some cards over. And the Snake with number 7. We have the Wheel of Fortune. It's interesting because I was just thinking about how all of your cards, at least these ones, didn't come out in the last pile, which just is so interesting to me because, I mean, there's like not a lot of cards in here, like maybe 40, 30, I think it was like 30 something. And I find it interesting. But then this card actually did come out in the last pile. So did this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay. But, wait, hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. I forgot I have to get a card, an oracle card for this. Oh, yeah. Mice. 23. the Tower. Cool. Okay. And then we have the letter. Okay, that one did come out for the last pile. Okay, so my brain keeps telling me different, like, opposite things. Like, my first thought was that the energy this week is very up and down. And then as soon as I was about to, like, start reading and interpreting each day, I was gonna say, like, my brain, I thought the energy this week is very consistent. So it's like complete opposite. And I also felt that way whenever, I mean, I guess I was just giving examples of what could be, but whenever I said that this could either be a group that is not very spiritual and has a hard time believing in spirit guides and doesn't want to really hear about them, but also I was like, oh, but on the flip side, you could be very spiritual and you could hear, or you could know that your spirit guides are there. And I feel like that's because that's very similar to what you're going through right now, is this kind of back and forth within your own mind, especially starting with the Two of Swords being tomorrow. What does this ring card talk about again? I keep forgetting, and I literally just, I paused to like look at all of these because I don't have all of these memorized. Where is it? Oh yes, okay, promise, cooperation, and cycles. When making a promise, one must consider the full weight of a decision. Commitments pave the way for cooperation, and cycles of teamwork achieve great feats. So, being that this is about commitments and this is about being torn and I'm getting confused, I feel like tomorrow and maybe even today, there's this energy of confusion at the moment, and I feel like this is carrying into tomorrow. And maybe you've been working on something with people, like maybe there's been a project that you're working on with people, or maybe it even could be not getting along with people at work, or like if it doesn't necessarily have to be like there's conflict, like you're not getting along with them. Like, it doesn't have to be conflict. There could be conflict, but it could also be maybe you work better alone, and that's not even like a bad thing, but I feel like maybe you could be kind of deciding whether or not to leave a job or whether or not to leave a group. Not like, it doesn't feel like a friendship group. It feels like something where you've committed. I mean, I guess like it could be a relationship, but I'm not getting any cups here. So I feel like maybe there is something that you are committed to at the moment that you're considering going off on your own path and doing your own thing. And it could also be that just the group that you're currently working with isn't really kind of seeing eye to eye or getting along, or your vision, especially, I know that this is later, but I want to talk about this real quick because I was gonna say that your vision for what you want is not, maybe you have, I feel like you're a very hard worker, and I feel like maybe whatever is going on, your vision for what you want is just, it's not being met by the current situation that you're in and the current people that you're around. Because this card, Seven of Pentacles, does talk about patience, but in this particular deck, it also talks about like it's good to be a hard worker. It does say that hard work is rewarded, but that your goals may be clashing with your inner passions. And the Snake card talks about passions and deception. Like, I think it literally, let me read it. Because I think it literally says to not let, it says watch for signs of self-serving behavior such as deception. It says a strong desire can be wielded like a blade, which is interesting because we have these swords. It may also lead to demise through greedy ambition. Watch for signs of self-serving behavior such as deception. So I don't get the vibe that you're being greedy here. Obviously, I mean, it is good to collaborate with people, but sometimes, I mean, you don't have to force yourself to collaborate with people that aren't seeing your vision. This could be a case of like, especially with the Arcturus card coming out, of maybe you don't see how much people support you because you could think that your vision is just so outlandish and your passions just wouldn't be supported, but I think that like the people you think aren't going to support you already do. Obviously you'll know kind of intuitively if that's true, because you'll know if the people that I'm talking about, whether it be family, coworkers, or friends, I am getting like a strong family vibe, especially because of the card that came out. But you'll know like if they're outright just not supporting you, then that won't resonate. But yeah, tomorrow there seems to be an energy of deciding whether or not to stick with a path that you've been on. Maybe you've been holding on to this for a while, this sort of like, should I stay on this path or should I follow a different one? With the next day being the Queen of Swords, in this specific deck, this card actually talks about potentially losing a partner due to being so invested in your work. I do think there is a need for more Cups energy. I know the No Cups card came out, but there's a cup here and cups here, and I just, yeah, I'm feeling, or I mean, obviously it's up to you, because what I'm seeing is, I forgot what this card meant as well. I literally just read them. They're so easy to forget. Yeah, doubt, confusion. The lack of clarity is the source of misunderstanding and doubt. Remove the veil of confusion to see the truth. Thinly cloaked secrets are revealed through investigation. So the only reason I say that more like emotional energy may be needed is because I feel like there is this confusion. But actually, maybe scratch that. I feel like on this day, because maybe you're someone who better operates in a swords or air energy, like you better operate from a logical, mental point of view. So I think on this day, either you or someone else is kind of lacking clarity, and it could be that your vision is not being fully understood, but that doesn't mean it's not being supported. I think that obviously I don't want to like say for sure, because I don't want to like subconsciously put the idea in your head to make a certain decision, but I think that you may be deciding that it's time to go your own way and do your own thing regarding a project. It could have even been like a business where yeah, you're just kind of deciding to either do your own thing or take a break from collaborating and maybe going more inwards, because it feels like you have this Queen of Swords energy, like this could represent you, and that makes me think that you're going inwards and kind of thinking about either ways that you can bring your own ideas to this business or to collaborate with other people, or you are like deciding, okay, maybe I'll do like my own thing, but you kind of are evaluating, like, yeah, I'm getting the energy of someone who would make like a pros and cons list of like, so maybe that's what you're doing on this day. Like, here are the pros and cons of me continuing down this path, which maybe you're doing that tomorrow. But I feel like it's kind of a continued energy. Like, here's where, like, here's what might happen if I decide to do this or this. And I want to say, with the Arcturus card coming out and being your main card for the reading, nobody is going to, there's not going to be any bad blood if you decide to do your own thing. I think that maybe the reason that the dark card came out, maybe like there's so many different ways that this could go, but maybe the darkness that you've been, maybe it's just been a confusion. Maybe the things that you've been putting energy towards, for whatever reason, before I got into these cards, I was getting the feeling that you feel lonely. And maybe that feeling is coming from not feeling connected to the people around you, because I think that you have this vision for yourself. And obviously, again, this doesn't have to be in business. This could just be in anything. I feel like you are in a place right now where you're generally surrounded by people, but even though they would support you, I feel like you don't feel connected to them right now. And it's kind of hard, because I do think that you love and care about these people. And I think it's just that, like, you don't want to hurt their feelings by going a separate way. That's what this feels like. It took me a while to hone in on that energy, but that's what this feels like. And so it feels like you're choosing to look at the situation logically and get clarity. And then we have the next day, which is the Sun, and this is a card of happiness and optimism, but I also am kind of taking it as like the solution is being illuminated, and I feel like your plans are being illuminated. So I feel like the parts of this week that might be rough are really just gonna be the nitty-gritty details of, like, I don't know, you may just be very like you may just be very in your head this week, and because we're gonna get to it, but this card also talks about worry, and I think that getting to where you want to go it's just a little bit of a, it's like hiking. It's the difference between hiking a clear path and hiking a path that you have to like go up and down these inclines and rocks. You're gonna get to your destination. It's just gonna be a little bit rocky. And yeah, being that this came out reversed and this came out reversed initially, especially coming after this card, I feel like that kind of represents the confusion and lack of clarity that you may feel in the beginning of the week. But ultimately, I think that you are gaining clarity. But it's definitely a slow progress, but that's not a bad thing. The Bear card talks about leadership, and that's kind of, yeah, I see you kind of stepping up into this role where, I mean, it makes me think if you're a leader of what you're doing. Maybe you've just been in a situation where you don't feel like the leader and you feel led by other people, and you feel like your decisions aren't like fully aligned with you and what you want, and they're not really your own, and you're just the kind of person that has to do what they want to do, like, and that's not a bad thing at all. Like, you're just the kind of person who may work better alone, and it's not because you don't like other people, it's just you may have an because I mean, and this that could go for anyone. Like, it's not that you want to be a leader of other people or a boss, because that again would be like, you don't want to boss other people around or tell them what to do, because then that would be like then you'd be the person that you don't like, because you don't want to be told what to do. But you won't, like, why would, then in that case, why would you want to tell other people what to do? I don't think that you want to be a boss. I think you want to be your own boss. And I don't know, whether it's in business or maybe you've been in a situation where you're living at home still, and I mean, like, in this economy, it freaking makes sense to do that. But maybe you're just kind of like, damn, like, this isn't working for me. I just can't. I need to be alone. I need to be in my own energy. I know these people care about me and I care about them and I love them, but I need to be away. I need to be in my own energy, and that's kind of like the vibe I'm getting, and that's kind of like what you're kind of grappling with. It feels like something similar to that. And then we have the next day, which this card talks about resilience, and this card talks about spirituality. So I do feel like there is a little bit of a, like, I think that you are trusting in spirituality and starting to take a more spiritual approach to things in order to get through this. That feels like that's what this day feels like. Because I feel like, you know, like, this cat has, like, I guess, when is that part of their fur is shaved off or is like burned off? You know, it feels like you've just been struggling for so long that you're like, okay, I need to pray or to have some sort of spiritual guidance, or maybe you do tarot on your own, or maybe you just I feel like this day is going to be a day where you're looking for guidance in spirituality, in spiritual ways, and really getting in touch. I was thinking about that Cups energy. I feel like this is a day where you're getting in touch with more intuitive energy, and it's making you feel more at ease, or at least it's giving you more clarity, because I do think that you're a spiritual person, but I also think that you just have doubts sometimes. And it can be especially hard to keep that spiritual energy if you're around people that don't nourish it and maybe don't agree with it, or who have other ideas about things, and it's a little bit harder to connect with yourself. But I think that you're learning how to do that. And then the next day we have, I think this might be a day where, well, actually, I feel like it's leading up. I feel like it's all leading up to the day where you kind of have the conversation, especially because on this last day, the letter card talks about news. It talks about communication, and it could be communication coming in, but I feel like this might be the day where you're having the conversation that needs to be had with some people. And it may, even if nobody's mad, it may feel like this tower. It may feel destructive, or it may feel like a lot. And you may be very emotional on this day, and ultimately I think it's going to be okay. But yeah, I want to get back to this. Was this the 5th day? Oh, and there's a 7 on this card, 7 of Pentacles, so 777 could be significant. But I also think that's alluding to the fact that the 7th day of this week is going to be significant, not to scare you. And also I feel like when it comes to these readings, you can kind of either speed up or slow down the process. It's not like guaranteed on this day, but it, you know, sometimes it is. But yeah, it looks like on this day, you're really coming to terms with what it is that you are passionate about and what you're willing to be patient for. But I also see you on this day maybe like working with other people and kind of like, yeah, this feels like a day where you are kind of maybe surrounded by other people, and it could be this group of people that you've been collaborating with, or again, like family that you've been with. And it feels like on this day, you're able to be more connected to your inner passions and your inner soul and like your true self. Maybe it's just been hard for you in the past to, maybe you're a very empathetic person, and or just you feel other people's energy very easily, and so whenever you're around other people, it's hard to stay grounded in your own energy. But somehow, like, getting more in touch, having a day, this feels like the day before feels like you're kind of like, and this day too feels like you're kind of more, you're having time alone and able to connect with yourself again. Even if you're not alone, connecting to spirituality is maybe one way, or like, if it's prayer for you, meditation, that you could be doing something on these days that just really helps you connect better to yourself, because it feels like you feel more calm even being surrounded by this energy that maybe doesn't feel aligned with you. You feel more able to be in that energy. And I feel like today, or like this day, is going to be honestly pretty good. It's gonna be, I'm not saying exactly what's gonna be happening, but I am saying that you're going to feel a sense of calm. And so hopefully that is reassuring. And I'm saying you might actually be like writing on this day, like writing, or just like, I don't know, this made me think of like planting seeds or like watering seeds. You're watering your ideas on this day. You're coming up with a plan, like an actual plan. At least whether it's, it could be very detailed, it could be the outline of a plan, but Pentacles makes me think, especially Seven of Pentacles with it being a card of patience, makes me think that this is like a detailed plan. But yeah, so just to kind of go over what we've gone over so far, it feels like you felt a little maybe lost and confused and maybe lonely, but it feels like this week you're finding clarity, you're making decisions, and you're feeling more aligned with your own energy. Yeah. So the next day we have the Wheel of Fortune, which this card makes me think this is about karmic cycles. This makes me think guaranteed change. The Mice card is about worries and anxiety. Let me make sure my phone is still recording. Okay, cool. I want to read this card real quick. Worry breaks down the spirit, and moments of weakness erase hope. During the darkest times, do not let fear win. Even the smallest creatures have hidden strength. So pretty much, I just think on this day, I feel like you're in an energy of like, now that you have your plan, you know that you're gonna have to let people know about it, and that feels like it could be like stressful and worrisome, and yeah, that's pretty much what this is. But I think with the Wheel of Fortune, you're going in a good direction. I think you feel on this day both confident and also scared. I just got the visual of you, like, I feel like towards the end, like once you I feel like you're kind of realizing how much people care about you, and I kind of see you hanging out with like, I was seeing like either like a sibling or like a parental figure, or maybe just like having a good chat with them, that makes you feel supported and makes you feel like things are gonna be okay. And then we have the next day. I think that there are people around you that you feel more supported by than others, and you're not so sure how they're gonna react. But ultimately, despite the Tower coming out, I know this can be kind of a scary card. I actually think this is a very powerful day because this feels like you're breaking free of a cycle of not being completely honest, or not that you were lying, but maybe selling yourself short and selling your own dreams and ideas short. And I feel like you're letting people know, and whether or not they understand where you're coming from and like what your dreams are and what you want to do, like, it doesn't have to be like dreams. It could just be like, oh, it could be something really out. It could be something really small. But with the Tower, I do feel like it is maybe like a big deal to you. And whether people understand this, I just got, this could be very specific. Maybe you're literally like coming out to your family. I just got that. So if that's the case, I wish you the best, because yeah. And I think it's gonna be, I think you're gonna be okay, regardless of what this is. Especially with flowers growing from this typewriter, like, I don't know, it's just a very beautiful visual to me. And in all this chaos, it may be chaotic, that's what it is. It may feel chaotic, your internal emotions may feel chaotic on this day, but I think that you are deciding, I think that you are actively deciding on this day to make a change in your life and be more open about that change with the people that you were afraid were not going to be supportive of you. And I do feel like you're getting more support than you think you are, than you think you will. But yeah, I do see that happening for you. So ultimately, I think it's gonna be an interesting week for you. Again, it might feel emotionally like a lot, just emotionally rough, but I think that you've got this. I don't want you to be like scared, because it's not like, I mean, we have weeks like this, you know, and I don't think it's going to be a bad week by any means. I think you're going to have some heart-to-hearts with people this week, and you're going to come out of these next 7 days better understanding yourself and other people and other people's point of views and your own. And oops, voice crack. And you're going to come out better understanding, you know, how you fit into this world, and how you don't have to like fit a certain mold. You can create your own energy and still be, there is a place for you in this world, basically. And I feel like you're kind of, obviously not all in 7 days, but you are slowly reaching that point of security within yourself, and that's really beautiful. So I want to end with some healing angel cards. I'm gonna take a drink of water real quick. Okay. Oh my god, I didn't shuffle that at all. Oh my god. Okay. Make sure it's still recording. Yes. How do I do it? I accidentally make every reading like an hour. Anyways, I just feel like it has to, like, I can't go in depth in 20 minutes. Maybe one day I'll learn, but God damn. Okay, we have Archangel Gabriel. So yeah, you definitely have lots of angelic protection right now. You will soon receive some positive news. The channels for clear and honest communication are now open. Keep an open heart and speak your truth lovingly without fear. So yeah, that's literally what we were just talking about. Keep an open heart and speak your truth lovingly without fear. And yeah, things are way better than you may feel. I think internally you're not feeling as good, but you will be. Oh, okay, we have courage and harmony. Disharmony occurs when we try to resist life's natural flow. Everything has its cycle. Every stage of life has its own unique meaning and purpose, and every day can be harmonious if we want it to be. And courage. You have what it takes. Just do it. We, your angels, are here to support you. So, oh, I'm gonna get one more. Oops. Oh yeah, more angelic support. Okay, and we have, okay, this one also came out for the last group, heart and soul. When making your decision, take into account what your heart and soul are saying. Sometimes the mind can deceive us. Choose through love, not fear. So yeah, again, choosing through love, not fear. And I think that's kind of what I was trying to get at when I said more like emotional cups energy. You know, mental energy can be very good, except that is where we hold a lot of our worry and fear. And that can just make it very hard to connect to our heart. But I think you're gonna be just fine. And I hope you have an amazing next 7 days. I'd be very interested to see what happens. So yeah, feel free to, I don't know, come back and update me if you want in the comments. I just think that this is so interesting, and I don't know how people just do these readings and then, I mean, they say the same thing. They also want to know what happens, but I couldn't do these readings, and then it's like I don't even know who I'm reading for, so it's just like the curiosity kills me. But anyways, that is all. I hope you liked this reading. Do feel free to like and comment suggestions as well, for readings that you'd like to see in the future. If you do stick around, I will be posting. I have like five readings already pre-recorded. So yeah, I have to also do a September reading. Hopefully I will get on that before it's too late. But yeah, anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, or afternoon. So yeah, bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the Waxing Crescent card, number 3, welcome to your reading. So we're just gonna get a general overview of the energy of the next 7 days for you. We have Eel, and we have the Rowan tree with attraction, which, by the way, sorry if my voice is shaking. I always say this, I'm just not used to talking so much, and I just probably honestly need to drink more water. Anyways, it says, the card says, transformation and regeneration, encouragement and protection, quicken new things to be born. So I'm sighing just because of my voice. But your reading, I'm actually very excited to get into, because a few things. I'm gonna read the card from this book, just because I've been doing it. I did it for the past 2 readings. Specifically, honestly, I should have used these cards as the pick a pile. I'm kind of wishing that I did now, but I can't go back and, I mean, I could. It would just be confusing because I start each reading with like, if you chose this, then yeah. But I really like this card. I just, whatever. Anyways, I do want to say two things. I saw attraction, I did think of love, and whenever I was putting the tree cards back, like I was putting them away, the permanence card fell out, and I don't know exactly what that one entails, but I also like started to hear the wedding theme song in my head. Like it's like I'm pretty sure that's the one they play at weddings. So like straight up, you could be getting in a relationship or meeting someone this week that you have a permanent bond with. You could be going to a wedding, maybe meeting someone there, or you literally could be getting married. It could be like whatever it is. This card and this card actually talk about very similar things. This card talks about like good things. It says motivation, change, serendipity. Those are the key words. And it talks about good, positive change coming into your life, very positive things happening for you. You're on the brink of a new start, and also just like positive. This is probably going to be a pretty good week. I'm getting a good energy. The eel card talks about it said things lurking below, and it also talks about electricity and dishonesty, which honestly, like, I'm not really getting lots about dishonesty, but when I was called to electricity because you could be feeling that electricity with a person. So I just want to read this one really quickly. Let me see. Okay. The rowan tree forecasts a bright future for you. Red being the color of fire, rowan means flame, which that also made me think of twin flame. So just gonna put that out there. What you need will gravitate towards you in the same way that the rowan's red berries give it power to attract birds. Patience is indicated by the life-giving properties of energy and protection that the rowan symbolizes. There is a sign that something is coming soon because the rowan is one of the first trees to bud. Maypoles are made from the rowan, so flirtations and romance are forecast. A merry-go-round begins, bringing people together by magical charm. The rowan also brings protection, as it has always been used to make amulets to guard against evil and ills. So, I'm gonna hold that up. It's so you can read it if you'd like. It's this one. And I also thought about the fact that it said it protects from evil and ills, and it said ills like ILLS, but it made me think of eel, which also just further confirms for me that the quote-unquote like negative meaning of this card, dishonesty, is not. If anything, that's something that you're protected from during this time. I feel like right now you're just a magnet. You're a magnet for people to be honest with you. You're a magnet for people to want to tell you the truth. You're a magnet for people to want to share their feelings. And honestly, like, you're just a magnet right now for, you're manifesting, basically. Whether or not all of this happens within the next 7 days, it might not, but I think that, because, you know, sometimes things take time to manifest, but it could be all in the 7 days. But I think that in general, the energy coming into your life is not just going to be present in the next 7 days. It's gonna like continue for just like well into the future. And how this card talks about how you're literally, what did it say? I just read it. It literally says the same thing that this card does, where what you need will gravitate towards you, and that this is a sign that something is coming soon. This says the same thing. So we're gonna get into your tarot because this is exciting and this is fun, and even if it's not a person, you're just attracting good things right now, and that's really exciting. So also, I'm sorry if I have like vocal fry. I keep apologizing for my voice, but like, I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm gonna get a tarot card for each day, as well as an oracle card from here. So feel free to skip the shuffling, because it may take me a little. I'm gonna lay them all out first. So, card for the energy of tomorrow. Oh. Beautiful, beautiful. We have the Magician. I love to see it. I love to see it. Wow, okay. Anyways. Oh, one of these is flipped over. Okay. Energy for tomorrow, Spirit. I will say, out of all the groups, for your first card, this one came out really quick. The other ones were taking a little bit of time, and that's not a bad thing for them. It's just, I feel like your energy is very magnetic right now and very, very quick. So, yeah. Although this one's taking a little bit, but it's like a lot wants to come out at once. Okay. Interesting. This is reminding me of the eel card, what's lurking beneath the surface. It's exciting, but okay, we have the bear with number 15. This card came out in the last one, and I mentioned that I just started watching The Bear, and because it reminded me of that. Good show. That show is also very fast-paced. There's a lot happening at once. Okay, what about the next day? Oh. Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Cute. These colors feel very, very fall, very cozy. Okay, Spirit, next day. Come on. Okay. We have birds number 12. Six of Cups. Beautiful. This could be the day. If you're looking for love, this could just be a very sweet day. We have Book with number 26. This could also just be, in general, a very, very sweet, love-filled day. Oh, the High Priestess. Good cards. I just love this energy. I just love your cards so far. Man. Not to be biased or anything. I love this energy. And like, I don't know, your energy feels very like, you're not overthinking. You're not in an overthinking energy at all. Like, if you've been like that in the past, I feel like you've really done a great job at transmuting that energy and letting it go, because this is really fun. We have Whip, number 11. Ten of Wands. It's 5, okay. Make sure my phone is still recording. I get so scared that it's just gonna randomly stop. Oh, okay. Garden, number 20. Made me think of the song Garden by Dora Jar. If you want to listen to that song, it's a good song. I never thought about the fact that it's like Dora Jar, like okay. Her name is spelled like Dora the Explorer, and the last, I don't know, that's probably not actually her name, obviously, but it's her artist name is Dora Jar, and I didn't realize that it was like it's this is so unnecessary for me to say, I'm sorry, but it sounds like door, like D-O-O-R, a jar, A-J-A-R. I think that's the point. That's literally the point. Yeah. I just didn't want anyone to think I was saying Dora Jar rather than Dora Jar. Okay. Here we go. Day 6. Okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. Wow. Oh my god. It's literally shuffling the booklet. Yeah, I just feel more carefree in this pile. It feels good. We have number 33 with Key. And last but not least, getting a card for the 7th day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The Two of Swords. Okay. And we got 2 cards. We have Stork, number 17, and the Tower, number 19, which I think, pretty sure this tower is a little different from the traditional tower. Okay, making sure you can see that. Okay, that kind of makes it a little difficult. Hold on. Okay, that should be good. That should be good. Okay, starting with tomorrow's energy, and maybe you're already feeling this just since it's tomorrow. But ultimately, like, I feel like I say ultimately a lot. I actually feel like maybe you're not fully in this energy today. I know we're not reading for today, but tomorrow's energy is almost like unexpectedly good. But also, no, I feel like you know. I feel like right now, you've just put in a lot of work to heal yourself, and you've been in an energy where maybe you've been actively manifesting, focusing on manifestation, focusing on visualizing. Maybe you've spent the last few days creating a vision board or something to that nature, like something that excites you, something that makes you really happy. And it's paying off because this week looks really good for you. And even the challenges this week, I feel you're handling with such grace and just such a mature attitude. And it feels like your soul is just very mature at this point. And starting with tomorrow, the Bear card talks about power, leadership. The Magician card also talks about being within your own power, self-confident. And I feel like tomorrow is a day where you may notice just sometimes we have those days where people are really attracted to our energy, or things like random, I don't know, I was having this day one time where traffic, I was getting really lucky in traffic, okay? I have days where it feels like people will just cut me off. Like, I'll go around someone that's going slow and then I'll get cut off immediately. But then sometimes it just feels like I'll have days where like there's bad traffic, but somehow everything just like opens up for me. I was having one of those days like 2 weeks ago. And I feel like that's the energy of tomorrow. Like, things are just going to be going really well for you. This is giving the energy of like you go to a coffee shop and the person behind you or like in front of you offers to pay and you don't even have to worry, or you get something for free. And more so, I feel like the things that you've been trying to manifest, you're seeing like actual concrete evidence that they are coming into your life. And even if you're not seeing it, you're feeling it. Like, you're feeling, sorry, my voice hurts. My voice hurts. I'm so sorry. I need to drink water. Anyways, excuse the voice shakiness. Yeah, you're feeling powerful tomorrow. You're feeling powerful energy. You're feeling, because I don't know if like if you're necessarily taking lots of action tomorrow. You might be, but I get a very mystical energy from this pile. And so it feels like you could literally consider yourself like a witch. Like, you could be into, even if it's not necessarily witchcraft, you could just be into magic. So literally, like the magician, you could be doing spells. You could just be focusing on magical things. Ultimately, I think that you're focusing on things tomorrow that make you happy, and it's making your energy more magnetic. And I feel like that's what you've been doing. And I do think that you're making things happen, because the next day I see you in a more action-oriented energy where you could be taking like physical action towards your manifestations and things you want. This could be a day where you're just kind of busy, but in a good way. Like, you're planning, you're making spreadsheets or whatever. Like, if you need to, if you're like a spreadsheet person, you're just doing the work. But it's not stressful. It's not stressing you out. You're putting in, where there may be like some things that are like not the most fun, because the Knight of Pentacles does talk about like continuing on building your path, and even though not everything that you have to do on it is super exciting, so there may be something like I have to make this spreadsheet. Just for me personally, like, office work like that just sucks. It could, like, counting money, I don't know. You're doing something but it's not all boring. You're doing lots of fun things. You're putting lots of energy towards something that means something to you. But yeah, you don't feel stressed. You don't feel what's the word? Yeah, you don't feel like there's like a pressure on you to do everything at once. You just feel like it's coming naturally to you. It reminds me of an energy that was also in group 1. I'm also noticing, not all the cards, but I was specifically looking at this card, this card, and this card, and how the cats are like dark. And with the High Priestess especially being about intuition, I feel like, and also getting the Eel card, I just feel like you're very tapped into your intuition. You're very tapped into what you can't see, and you're trusting it, and it's working for you. You've become really good at trusting your intuition. This bird card, or birds, talks about noise. It talks about excitement, nervousness, but also noise. So there could be, yeah, lots of stuff going on this day. But I also think like you're making sure to get away from all the noise when it becomes too overwhelming, so that you don't lose this energy, this spark. Kind of like the eel card was talking about electricity. I just feel like you have an electricity running through you right now. And yeah, you're making sure that in trying to take action towards something that you're manifesting, because it could be like, I'm not getting specific examples, but some sort of project or it could even be doing like more vision board stuff, like things that just contribute to helping you feel good and helping you manifest. Plans to move somewhere, looking like that, just, furniture planning, whatever it is. You're making sure that you don't put so much energy into it to your own detriment. Like, you're basically in the energy of like, if I'm gonna be working towards something, I'm gonna enjoy it. And that's a really good energy to be in, because it kind of gives the energy of not being like so attached to your outcome that you're afraid to lose it. Because obviously you're gonna care about your outcome. Like when people say, oh, don't be attached to the outcome to manifest, obviously you're going to want it, but I feel like it's about not having fear that you're going to lose it. Say if you take like one day to rest, like you know that you don't have to rush the process, and that's what this energy is giving. And yeah. So then we have the next day, which very specific. You might be going to a library. I mean, because we have the book card. You may be visiting your hometown on this day, or just visiting a place that brings you a lot of comfort, a lot of nostalgia, which could be a library. And you honestly could be like meeting somebody there, like that you haven't met before. Like you could have like a little meet cute. That's kind of what this is making me think of. But I think that you may literally, because this book card talks about learning, and you may quite literally be like, this could just be like a chill day for you, where you're like, I want to go and I want to read. And maybe you're learning more about like, yeah, maybe you're doing like research, or you're learning more about the thing that you're trying to manifest, or maybe you're even learning about manifestation. I feel like there may not even be something specific that you're manifesting. I feel like you're just like learning how to use your energy and make your energy attractive to the universe. But I do think that there are things that you want, and I do see you getting that. And yeah, on this day, there's a very sweet energy. This could also be like, if you are visiting home, this could be literally a day where you're going to a wedding. That's just for some of you, because that's pretty specific. If you're trying to like manifest a lover, you're either meeting someone, you might meet someone on this day, but that's not like, you may not meet someone this week. It's gonna be different for everyone, but what everyone in this group does have in common is you're manifesting what you want to manifest. So if you are trying to manifest a relationship, or a person, that is coming in. And I am getting the feeling that it's a new person, but this card does talk about reconciliation, so it can be someone that you know, but I'm not getting the vibe that you have like a difficult past with them, or like a kind of rocky history with them. This would be someone who maybe you knew and were friends with, or acquaintances with, but it's just a new energy. Whoever it is, they have a new energy to them. But that's what I get from this day. This day could just be a day of nostalgia and again, I really do think that you're focusing on what brings you joy, and that is your main focus for each day. So this day you just could be feeling like nostalgic, I want to go to the library type of energy, and that's what you do. And maybe, you know, even if you don't meet like your soulmate here, maybe you just have conversations with people here that are just fun, you know? I feel like you're in a pretty open-hearted energy. For the next day, we do have the Whip card, which does talk about conflict and drama. But with the High Priestess being here, I feel like, in a way, the High Priestess being about intuition and being about the third eye, this makes me think like you're above it. And like literally this card is above. So there could be just little dramas going on around you, or even someone who is jealous of you and trying to get into your energy and trying to like discourage you or just be mean on this day. There could be some of that, especially if they see how easily you're attracting people and attracting love interest into your energy. There just may be some people who you know, try and get involved and try and cause drama. And in any case, you're rising above it. And I feel like you right now, your intuition, you see right through people. One thing that is very like, except for in this card where they're looking at each other, all of these cards, the cats are looking forward. And I don't know if that's the case in all of the cards in the deck. I don't think it is. I mean, okay, I guess it is. So whatever, the fact that I noticed it, I feel like you're good at seeing through people and seeing through their motives. And if there is any drama on this day, I feel like you are seeing through the bullshit and still making good decisions. You know, we can't control other people and how they're gonna be. And so I just think that you are trying to stay within your own energy, and your spiritual energy is very strong, and you've probably worked to get it there, and it makes it a lot easier for you to hold your own when other people are acting a fool. And so yeah, I do think there may be a little bit of drama on this day, but ultimately I do think that you're taking a rest day on this day, because again, like, you're trying to be in that energy of getting away from the noise whenever it's too much, self-care, and spiritually revitalize yourself. Let me see, sorry, I had to burp. For the next day, with the Ten of Wands, let me actually see what the Ten of Wands means in this deck, because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Okay. I'll just read it. It says the Ten of Wands appears when you are exhausted but feel unable to rest because the culmination of a goal is near. Or perhaps a project or scheme has been highly successful but has left you with additional responsibilities that are proving a heavy burden. You need to prioritize and delegate. And then I also want to read the Garden card. It says community, culture, teamwork. Public spaces indicate connection with the community and culture at large. A need for teamwork may arise in the near future. Pay attention to those seeking assistance. So yeah, that was also reminding me of how you are open-hearted right now, and I really, like, you're just in a good energy, and I think that you are willing to accept help, because I do think that, like, maybe the things that you're manifesting maybe life is just getting a little hectic, and I also do feel like this may have to do with, like, since this was the day before, I was thinking that maybe this had to do with the day before and how it could just be like that you're dealing with the effects of being in such a good energy that it makes some people jealous and prone to want to start drama in your life. Okay, sorry, I had to pause because speaking of cats, my cat was using the litter box and kicking litter everywhere. But anyways, oh, I think she's still in there, so don't mind that. But anyways, yeah. Oh, damn. I don't know if you can hear that. She's really kicking. She's really good at hiding her poop, so she does a good job. So she has to make sure it's perfect. Anyways. Yeah, I think that maybe being in such a good energy is not something that you're used to, and now that you've gotten here, there are good parts to it, but there's also the fact that, you know, you need to protect your energy, and also be with teamwork being here. I feel like your open-heartedness is allowing you to be willing to accept help, but also to see who's, whoa, more litter kicking. Anyways, to see who's like genuinely there for you. And yeah, and be discerning of because this is also making me think of like this is making me think of people. Okay, hold on, I can't concentrate. But yeah, this is making me think of people who would potentially be more vicious towards you, and with the scissors here, it's making me think of like you can cut that energy out, and I think you know that. Voice crack. But yeah, I do think that you are always gonna have people, and you have people on your team to help you with these burdens. And so I think that this is just a day of, what's the word? Reconcile? I hope that that's the right word, reconciling with that energy, or just kind of, this could be a day where you're choosing to surround yourself with supportive people. And it could literally be like one person that you trust. I think that you are on this day just kind of taking a day to surround yourself with people who love you and who support you, and just to remind yourself that you've got this, and that there are people that support you and who will support you, and that your energy is not the problem. It's just some people are not in a good energy and like to create drama, and you know, that's their thing. So yeah. The next day we have like a really good energy. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups with the Key, which this is all about liberation and new beginnings. Actually, let me read it. Yeah, liberation and destiny and resolution. A new pathway is being opened. Will it bring liberation or fulfill a destiny? Something new is about to unfold, and with it comes a sense of satisfaction and resolution. And yeah, I think, again, you've already been feeling this, and you've kind of just been trusting that the universe will bring you to where you're meant to be, and it literally will. And yeah, again, with the cards that were coming out, especially this card that you chose, Waxing Crescent. This is literally about, I could also read, no, I won't read it because it's kind of long, but this is literally about new things coming into your life. I actually will hold it up if you want to read it. It's this one. So you could also take a picture if you like. But yeah, really good energy. And I think that, you know, sometimes the universe doesn't present us with, because it's all about your own inner energy, and the universe won't present you with what you want unless you're ready for it. And you're in this energy, you're ready for it. You're in this Queen of Pentacles energy that is like, just even if you don't have lots of finances, which you could, but I feel like even if you don't, you're in this energy of being abundant and being comfortable, and you're in a very emotionally mature energy. And on this day, you may be presented with an opportunity, or you may be like kickstarting something, or finally like actually there may just be like a lot of, or like obviously there was action being taken on this day, but it felt like planning stages. This feels like there might be actually something that's like in the tangible world that you can like do, like not just planning, but like, yeah, I just feel like there's going to be an opportunity on this day. Or you may be starting a business. You may be like, yeah, again, like kickstarting it on this day, or starting an Instagram account, starting some sort of channel, creating something, selling something, like putting up something for sale. Whatever you're doing, you feel confident in it. You may be going on a date if that's what you're trying, like you could be going on a date on this day. I honestly feel like for a lot of people in this group, there is like multiple things that you're attracting into your life. It's not just one thing. So I think you could be working on something and also attracting love into your life if that's not something that is there already. Like, and if you're already in a relationship, you could be like attracting marriage into your life. Like that could be happening quite soon. So yeah, I mean, I know this is kind of like a big like thing to say, but maybe you're getting proposed to on this day. I feel like, I don't know, I'm not getting that vibe, but it's very possible for like maybe one or two people. The next day, however, and I feel like this confirms the opportunity happening, the Stork card talks about what I forget because I remember, but I don't know. Yeah, change, transition, and movement. And then the Tower card in this deck talks about authority, boundaries, solitude. And I want to read that one because it says, the imposing walls of a tower exude authority and strength. While they do protect, they can also isolate. The boundaries of the tower create a sense of solitude. So what I think is happening here, especially with the Two of Swords, I do think that there is going to be this sort of feeling this day, kind of relating to opposing energies, you know, the people who are jealous and stuff like that. I think that this is going to be relating to, there may just be this feeling of, you feel like you're leaving people behind by taking a certain opportunity, or because you're just a nice person, a good person, and you want to include everyone, and you have a good heart. And I don't think that you're leaving anyone behind, but I do think there's a part of you that feels torn. And even though you've worked so hard for this on the spiritual level and on a physical level, I feel like you've done the spiritual work, but I still feel like you may be feeling some inner conflict this day with wondering if you're deserving of this thing, or deserving of good things or of new things. Because even though, we can invite change and we can change ourselves, like sometimes when you're manifesting something this quick and the energy is coming in this quickly, it could kind of set us back a little bit and make us feel in that energy again of like, do I deserve this? Kind of having doubts. But ultimately, like on this day, I do see you balancing that, and again, talking to people, talking to a trusted loved one or friend about this, and really like learning how to have healthy boundaries while also knowing that like you're deserving and that people will support you. This could be kind of an introspective day, but this could also be a day where, you're kind of deciding. I think you are going to move forward with whatever this is. I don't think that you're considering not moving forward with it. I think that I don't know, you may also be in, I'm not getting like intense conflict, but you may just be realizing that that some people don't fully understand you or your path, and coming to terms with that and accepting that in order to manifest your dream life, you can't bring old energies with you. And I think that's what this day is going to be about. So it may be more of a solemn, I think that's the word, day. It may be a day of more solitude, introspection, journaling. That's kind of what this day is giving. But I think it's just coming from another voice crack. Oh my God. I think it's just coming from being a little overwhelmed by everything. I think that you may be feeling a little overwhelmed, but I think that you're still in a good energy and you still feel good about it. Like, if that makes sense, like you're not like overwhelmed and questioning your entire life. It's more so like kind of like I just picture someone saying like okay, like just needing a second to themselves and be like, okay, deep breath, I can handle this, everything's gonna be okay. You've come to a place where you're good at supporting yourself and getting back to a balanced place. You're good at grounding yourself, and I just feel like you have a good support system as well. So that's what the week is looking like for you. Obviously, that I say week, it doesn't have to be starting at the beginning of the week, but this is just the next 7 days. And I see this really like, this is just the start, like this is just the start. You've got a lot of good stuff coming into your life. So I want to get some healing angel cards from this deck to just leave you with some good messages from angels, guides, and all that. Okay, you're still recording. Okay. So, messages, Angels, what do you have to say to pile 3? Okay, we have mindfulness. Be mindful of another's feelings and needs. Someone needs your love right now. A loving thought is all it takes. So yeah, that could also be, especially if you're visiting home, maybe you could just be reconciling with someone. This could be a lot of things, because I do get the energy that I already said from this, but it might also have a double meaning of like, especially, I don't know, whenever there's people who seem like they're against you, remember that there are also people who love you, and yeah, I don't want you to think that you're, again, because I know that this card talks about feeling conflicted and feeling like you're leaving people behind. You're not, I don't think you're leaving anyone behind. But I do think that because your intuition is so strong, if you are feeling called to, that's where I think you're setting healthy boundaries of doing what's good for you, but also like being reassuring to those who need it. Of course, it's not your job to have to reassure people, but if you care about them, you're gonna want to do that anyways. So that could just be really helpful for your relationships. So we have sacred knowledge. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Feel the peace within. Beyond your thoughts lies your eternal truth, the I am presence of eternal love. Which I also feel like that's just like, I feel like this with mindfulness, I know that the message it says, but I also think that like mindfulness in general, because this makes literally closing your eyes and focusing on your breath, like that's something that I feel like already gets you so in tune with yourself. I feel like you already do this, and this is just confirmation that this is your pile, but also, yeah, like meditation, and you can never lose yourself. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, just know you can never lose yourself. You always have yourself. You just have to, take a deep breath, come back to the present, close your eyes, because you have sacred knowledge within you. I'm gonna get 2 more. Okay, we have peace. No matter where you are or what you're doing, inner peace is always possible. All it takes is a subtle shift in awareness. Think love and peace will follow. So there you go. No matter where you are. And then we have surrender. There is no point in pushing the barrow up such a steep hill. Go back to the start. Surrender your expectations. There is an easier way. When the time is right, a new path will appear. Sacred Source. We have, Sacred Source on the back. We, your angels, are here to remind you of your magnificence. You are literally an angel in the making, a being of eternal love and light, forever one with God, Goddess, and all creation. So, yeah, if you needed confirmation that you're on the right path, because even though I feel like you're very grounded and you're very intuitive, you may just doubt sometimes, and just everyone has doubts, even the most spiritual people. And so if you ever feel like you're not doing enough, this is literally proof like you are doing enough. And keep trusting. If things haven't been like the best, know that like the work that you've done on yourself has benefited you and your spirit, and it is bringing in so much love and abundance and just, yeah. So I'm gonna leave this here. I hope that you enjoyed this reading, that it was accurate and insightful. Feel free to leave a like if you like, and comments on suggestions for what you want to see if you do decide to stick around. I do have 5 pre-recorded readings that I'll be posting, and I'm gonna try and do a September reading as well, so I'm pretty sure I have enough time to get that done. There's literally like 2 more weeks in August, but anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night or afternoon, and yeah, bye.